Hello, this is Ujjwal and welcome to another card video on my YouTube channel. Today we will be creating this card using watercolors and we will add some highlights using colored pencils. So I have this Impression Obsession pattern circle cling stamp, and it has some really nice intricate design, and I thought it would be fun to use it as the center of a flower. So I'm using some Versamark ink and I'm going to heat emboss the circle onto a white cardstock. I'm using Fabriano LR 220 GSM Bianco, I think it's called Bianco cardstock. I'll just add the links in the list below, supply list below. And I am using some gold embossing powder from, I think it's from Creative Creations or something. I don't remember the name of the brand, but yes, it's a gold embossing powder, and I always use that scrap sheet of paper whenever I am doing embossing. It just catches all the extra embossing paper, and it makes it easier to pour it back in the jar. And if you have any extra embossing powder on the areas where you don't want it to be, you can always brush it off with a dry paintbrush. And now I'm heat setting the embossing powder, and you can see that it has become all gold and shiny. Next we are going to use some watercolors. I am using Faber-Castell watercolor pencils today. I have a pack of 12, and these pencils basically have watercolor pigment in their leads, so you use them just like pencils, but when you add water to it, they react and they become like watercolors. So they are really cool if you have smaller areas to color, or if you have intricate designs like the one that I'm coloring. It is really easy with the pencils to go in and add color. So I'm just using the watercolor pencils just like normal pencils and adding different colors. And again, I'm not using watercolor paper for this because I will be adding very little water, which the Fabriano 220 GSM paper will be able to handle. In case you intend on adding a lot of water, then I would recommend using a watercolor paper instead. But for my technique today, this Fabriano paper worked pretty well. And it's cut to size 5.5 by 3 by 4, I think. So it fits perfectly onto a regular size card base. And once I have filled in all the colors, I'm going to use a water brush. And again, if you don't have a water brush, you can use a regular brush and some clean water, and just go over the colored areas and start adding water to it, and you will see that it will all smooth out, and it will look like a watercolor painting at the end. So I'm going over one color at a time. Make sure you wipe your brush each time you change to a different color. This will help keeping the contamination at bay, and your colors won't mix together. So I'm just going to go ahead and add water to all the areas that I added color with my pencil. Again, I'm obsessed these days with creating scenes and extending these stamps, or keeping stamps as a focus and then building a scene around it. And this particular card was also the idea is almost the same, because I am going to use that and extend it. I'm going to use this circle and extend it into a flower. So I love how versatile the stamps are, and so many ways you can use them and come up with unique ideas. So I am almost done coloring. Also make sure that you don't add very harsh lines while you're adding color with your watercolor pencils, otherwise it will be really difficult to blend. So you can see that I have it all colored. Now comes the flower part. So to build the flower and to make sure that the petals are almost equal in size, I'm going to add a little guideline. So I'm just making some small marks at equal distance. I'm just eyeballing, I'm not measuring anything. I just marked one at the center, and then at the top and the bottom, and then just kind of eyeballing, and I made 5 marks there, and these particular marks would be the center of my petals, and I'll be drawing the petals around them. So I chose two colors, there's a pink and an orange, and I'll go with my pink and just freehand draw the petals around. This is really easy. Anybody can do it. You don't really have to be an artist or a painter to draw petals. I think flowers are the most easiest to work around. So you can see that I am just drawing my petals directly with the watercolor pencils. If you're not sure, if you feel that you're going to mess up the petals, you can always go and draw the petals with a pencil first, and then once you're satisfied, you can remove the pencil marks and then go over and add the watercolor. So I am just drawing, and I have a draft there of the petals, and I think I like it, so I'm going to go ahead and start coloring it in. So I'm filling in the pink first, and then I will go ahead and fill in the orange. So I've added my first layer of watercolor to the petals, and I blended it with my water brush, and then I completely dried it, and I'm going to add another layer of color and make it really bright and eye-catching. I'm sorry about the bad lighting here. It's really raining cats and dogs at my end of the world, and the weather is really gloomy, so not a lot of natural light there, but the colors are really bright and happy on this particular card. So another great thing to do with watercolor pencils is that you can easily layer color as much as you like, and you can go over as many times as you like. But just make sure that the paper is completely dry when you add the next layer of colors, so that the pencils glide on it easily. Otherwise, if the paper is wet, the pencil might not work as efficiently as it would on a dry paper. So I'm going to go ahead and keep adding layers of color till I am happy with how it looks. And now comes the fun part of adding some highlights. I'm using Staedtler Luna pencils. These are easily available and they're not very expensive. I think it was 270 INR for a set of 24 pencils, as far as I remember, but I will again leave the links in the description below, and you can check them out. So what I'm doing is I chose a gray color pencil, and I'm just adding some details to the petals, and this will really enhance the look of the petals and make it much more eye-catching and vibrant and very detailed. So it will look like that I spent a lot of time coloring them, while it was really easy to just add some strokes of gray and some strokes of white too. White pencils are really great for adding some highlights and some details. And I'm just starting from the center, and just adding some strokes, some flicks of white with the pencil, starting from the center of the petal, or the lower part of the petal, and then going upwards. So, and you can see that I have some details. Again, the light is not great here. You will be able to catch the details much better in the still photos. And now I'm just adding my sentiment. I used the Warm Fuzzies clear stamp set from Impression Obsession, and just added "You Made My Day." And because everything is incomplete without splatters, I used some black Gansai Tambi watercolor, and then just added some black splatters. And I did do a mistake here, but you will be able to see it in a little while. So I just covered the center part because I didn't want the splatters on the center, and just added some fun splatters, and then mounted it onto the card base using foam tape. And that is it. That's the card for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will just add some still photos here so you can see the details in the petals and how pretty this looks. And here's a blooper alert, because I never make a card without a blooper. So what I did was, when I added the splatters, I put the card upside down while it was still wet and had splatters all over my cardstock. So yes, that's me. And again, thank you for watching. I hope you have fun. I just included the blooper to let you know that I make mistakes. Everybody does, so it's all right. And just go on, create, and have fun. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a great day.